Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So I got a few people emailing me this article today. It's from The Score, and you can see it says the busts, top prospects from each NL club who never panned out. So they did basically like the top bust from each team in the NL, and this is pretty cool. This is since 2000, okay? So these are the top busts since 2000, the year 2000. And if you go to NL West, there I am right there. So I'm pretty proud of this. I'm not proud of this. I think this is funny for a couple of reasons. But first of all, we've talked about, I made a video about Am I a Bust, actually, if you want to go check that out on our YouTube page, where I really get in depth with stuff. First, the word bust in baseball is a really interesting word because we've talked about it before. Most draft picks don't make it in the big leagues. I think only like 50% of first round picks actually ever step foot on a big league field. I think that's what the stat is. And then, obviously far less than that actually perform well and play well. Baseball is just one of those sports where when you get drafted, so if you're a college player, there's so far to go to get to the major leagues. It's not like football or basketball or a lot of other sports where, in football, if you're the number one overall pick, you're going to probably step right in to the starting lineup in the NFL that next season. Same kind of thing with basketball typically. Baseball's not like that. You've got to go through an entire minor league system. So it's really, really hard to do that. So that's the first thing. But let's kind of look at what they said here first, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So it says, we got Antonelli Padres draft selection first round, 17th overall in '06. Highest prospect ranking was 27th. I made my debut on September 1st. My last appearance was the 28th, so I never got back up to the big leagues again to play in the game. And then I have a minus WAR. And so, Antonelli had a meteoric rise and spectacular fall all in 2008. He cracked several top prospect lists thanks to his 2017 campaign. He spent between single A and double A, which he hit 307, 404, and 491 with 21 homers, 78 RBIs, and 28 stolen bases across 131 games. As a September call-up in 2008, he failed to distinguish himself at the dish by hitting 193 in 65 plate appearances, and he never made it back to the majors. Now, this is my favorite part of the article, actually. This is why I'm actually really proud of the article. After retiring in 2013, Antonelli stuck around baseball and recently started playing through MLB The Show 20's Road to the Show mode and posting videos to his YouTube channel. I appreciate the shout out. The one feather in his cap, I only have one feather, from his Major League Baseball career is that his first career hit came against Hall of Fame pitcher Greg Maddux in my first at bat. Don't forget that, the score. So the first thing is I find it odd that they name me as the biggest bust. When I went through the list, well, let's go through the list here. Okay, so I pulled this list up right here. It's all the first-round draft picks from the Padres starting in 2000, so the last 20 years. And it's actually interesting. We're going to go through the list. There's not many names on here that you're going to recognize. So the Padres have not had very good luck in the last 20 years of drafting. But I find it interesting, again, that I somehow they listed me as the top bust, which I'm assuming they must. I don't know if they watched my Road to the Show and they were like going through this list and like, Padres. Oh, what about that guy that calls himself a bust? Or I didn't call myself a bust. I made a video on it. Let's put him up here. So we'll just go through the list. Mark Phillips, Jake Gautreau, Khalil Green. Okay, people know Khalil Green. He had a decent career in the big leagues. Tim Stoffer, I played with Tim. Didn't have a long career. Matt Bush, you guys know Matt Bush, never made up with the Padres. Ended up pitching a little bit with the Rangers and I think the Rays. Cesar Carrillo, I played with him. He never made it to the big leagues, I don't believe. Cesar Ramos. Ramos and I played together. Then there's me. Kyler Burke, never made it to the big leagues. Nick Schmidt, I don't know if he ever made it to the big leagues. Kellen Kubaki never made it to the big leagues. Drew Cumberland, I remember Drew is a little shortstop. I don't know if he ever made it to the big leagues. Mitch Canham, now head coach of Oregon State. Did Mitch ever make it to the big leagues? I don't know if Mitch ever did. I don't think he did, but I'm not sure. Corey Lukey ended up getting hurt. I don't know if he ever made it. Danny Payne, I don't think he made it to the big leagues. Alan Dykstra made it to the big leagues for a little bit with the Rays. Jeff Decker, did he make it to the big leagues? I'm not sure. Forsythe did. He played, he's been kind of like a utility guy, but he's had a nice career. Donovan Tate, I don't think Donovan made it out of high A ball, I don't think. And he was a third overall pick. So I'm not saying you should make Donovan Tate the biggest bust, but he got paid a lot more money than I did, and I don't think he got out of A ball. And then we're going to get to some guys a little bit more recent, although I still don't know who most of these guys are. You can kind of look through the list. I'm not going to go through all of them. Max Fried, good player. Not with the Padres, though. Hunter Renfroe had a decent career. Trey Turner, not with the Padres again, but Trey Turner's had a nice career so far. Okay, so those are, well, I guess that's since 2016. Are there more? There's no more. Okay, so that's up until 2016. Okay, so again, I find the article interesting. I think it's kind of cool, actually, that they decided to pick me. I feel like maybe that's because, again, maybe they must watch my stuff, which I really like. But the whole bust thing, I've talked about this before, the bust thing in baseball, I don't know. They throw that around in a lot of sports. I think it's harder to do in baseball. You can do it. That's fine if you want to say, if you're a first round pick and you don't have a successful big league career, call them a bust. There's just going to be a lot of busts in baseball then. There's going to be tons and tons of busts, every single year. But anyways, I wanted to throw it up there because people were shooting it over to me, and I found it interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video with all your friends. All that good stuff. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. We really appreciate that as well. And we'll talk to you later.